Have you ever pondered what the physical embodiment of the continuous prolonging of a machine's life resembles in bicycle form? It's a conglomerate of, yeah, that shit works, resulting in my favorite bike on Instagram. This is the Rodriguez Bandito of Mr. Alder Trakild, or more recognizably, Mr. Road Holes himself, as is seen on Instagram. Did I pronounce your last name correctly? At first glance, and without context, you just might write off this pink machine as a worn down, clapped out, haggard example of a bike. And based on this written description from Alder himself, everything on the bike is broken and everything has play or rattles. You'd be right. But here's the thing. I want you to think of a bike that had some sort of catastrophic problem that led you to give up on it. Like, what could that be? Like rust? Perhaps like a cracked or bent or buckled down tube. Like cracks, rust, bent tubes. Yeah, those all seem like pretty good excuses for throwing in the towel and giving up on a frame, maybe cutting your losses and going to something else. This pink Rodriguez is the result of not giving up, not throwing in the towel, and proves that there is indeed still efforts happening to prolong the life of sentimental bikes. Now the frame itself, the Rodriguez Bandito frame, is an interesting mix of tubing, with TLX D-shaped tandem chainstays, a heavily ovalized down tube for stiffness, and the top half being mostly Columbus Life. Talking the nuances of the different metals that were used to construct this Rodriguez Bandito is captivating enough, even before diving into the work that was completed to perpetuate its ability to keep rolling. The C-tube at the bottom bracket joint cracked, not too dissimilar to what I did to the GT not long ago, but instead of giving up on it like I did, Alder drilled either end of the crack to eliminate its ability to spread, TIG welded the crack, and reinforced the area by brazing a sleeve over the affected area. Boom! Fixed and back on the road. Nice. Just as like a quick FYI for those of you who are like, whoa, that's loose. This, like, what they did to fix it is very, very similar to the way some airplanes are fixed. So take that however you want. Later, another crack formed on the Bandito, which is truly not surprising. If you follow these guys on Instagram, you see that they ride their bikes like 10 times crazier than I do, and I wish I could hang out with them. Paint stripped, crack drilled out on either end, the same way that it was done at the bottom bracket, and then filleted with silver. From here, at this repair, it hasn't been resprayed yet to hide the work, which honestly, I kind of like. I just love the fact that this thing has been cracked, fixed again, and it'll just kind of happen again and again. And then with zero thought, there's just fixing it, like in their shop. Just, it's fixed. So I don't really know anything about Rodriguez or like the frame that this is kind of at all. So when I learned the name of it, I looked it up, and here's the first result explaining what it is. Rodriguez Bandito. The new Bandito, trademark from Rodriguez Bicycles, is the famous Outlaw's disc brake cousin. It's lighter than its carbon counterparts and offers a better ride, more durable frame, and even lets you ride up to 35mm tires if you like. Picture below is 32. So open up a can of whoop ass and hit the road. So, 35mm tire limit. Very true Spindat-esque squeezed in tire, 700 by 40 WTB nanos. Just look at all that resulting glorious paint removal. Now, before we get any deeper into this, I gotta thank today's sponsor, everybody who supports the channel through Patreon. If you, like Park Walter, Michael Munson, Pat Keir, and literally 4 days ago, Greg Rice, among many others, want to support the channel and honestly really kind of get nothing in return, go ahead and check out the Patreon page that doesn't have a whole lot on it, but helps the channel out immensely. On with the myriad of unsuspecting parts that don this Rodriguez Bandito. First up, that segmented titanium gravel fork from Bear Claw. Kind of baller, yeah? Yeah. The through axle, however, it's broken. Generally opened with channel locks and closed with a rock. I love the way that this bike is treated. Bars. I'm East Coast. Bars are custom Monet low-rise bars, 45 millimeters of rise, 780 millimeters wide. Thompson stem and post, which is notably held in place with organic carbon grit after some slippage. XTR brakes with non-series flat mount rear caliper. Ice Tech rotors and Swiss stop pads. Hand-built wheels, hell yeah brother. Industry 9 Hydra rear hub, STW front hub to spank gravel rims laced with DT comp spokes. There's some notes here about how it's all laced and stuff. Rotor crankset, 38 tooth absolute black chainring with a white Industries bottom bracket. There's like, this thing's just like covered in good parts. As the cherry of Tinker repairs on top, a GX 10-speed shifter lined up with a 10-speed GX rear derailleur that has been heavily modified. Though not modified for like added range with those like bougie cages and parts that you can get. This GX derailleur has been so beat and used so often that the bushings and the rivets wore down so far that it would ghost shift itself unpredictably. Instead of replacing it with a new one like a sane person, Alder drilled out the worst of the rivets and replaced it with a bolt and nut. Good as that'll work. It also has like an 11 through to 42 cassette, whatever. The important thing here is how much it gets beat, and how fixed and repaired and like prolonged this whole entire build has been. And there you have it, my favorite bike on Instagram. Following and watching the work done on this Rodriguez and a load of other bikes that pop up on the Road Holes Instagram is just a remarkably refreshing take on the like traditional bike and bike mechanic social media ethos. The normal content you see is generally like pristine shops working on like absolutely drop dead gorgeous, expensive super bikes. Sort of seemingly trying to like flex their superiority of technical abilities. It's fun to see that a little bit, but I think if you went to some of those shops needing a repair of like, say, an entire down tube, a lot of those really pristine shops wouldn't and couldn't take on work and jobs like that. And in a way, all that attention, it kind of skews what working on and riding bikes can actually be. Truth is, the vast majority of bikes are significantly tougher than they're given credit. And just about anything can be fixed, given enough motivation. And Alder's Rodriguez, well, it's proof of that, like over and over again.